Welcome to X1T Gaming, and together we're going to revolutionize the gaming industry. So far now we're going to be doing on Lab 2. You guys are following along. I'm going to try to put these in a playlist for you guys so you guys can follow along a little bit easier, see which projects switch. And yeah, so this one I think will be a pretty easy day. It looks like in this Lab 2 they're just trying to figure out how to use, like, create your own objects. I've played around with it a little bit, so I don't think there's going to be too much like coding in this one, and I don't think we're going to need to watch the videos for some of them. So we could drive by. So like the first unit lab, it says create a Unity project and then change the simple scene to my game. So that's pretty easy, where you just have your scenes, you have simple scenes, and they just want us to rename this. If we could find where the rename is, rename to my game. My game. Reload. Okay. So now the thing is my game, and then we just go mark step complete. So next one, what we want to do is they want to create a plane in the background. So in this one, we have to go to 3D objects, game object, 3D object, and then they want to make a plane. And then what we're going to be doing for the transform, it's in this increase the XYZ scale to 515. So this is going to be 5, 1, and 5. So we don't need any depth. And then we'll scroll out, and there's our first plane. See, already doing some steps already. No problem. Create a primitive player with new material. So in the hierarchy, we want to right click, and then we want to go to 3D object. So that's another place that you could get these things. So you could go game object up here, or you could right click here, whatever is easier for you guys. So we want to do make a sphere, and then we're going to name it. We're going to name this one player. That's what it wants us to do. So that's going to be our player, and then what we want to do is we want to do materials. Let's say, so materials, right click, create. Let's create empty. Maybe on player, right click. So inside materials, oops. Where's my, oh, we might actually have to watch this. So, okay, so in the hierarchy, right click sphere, rename it. And then in assets, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new folder. And this one we're going to call it material. And then we're going to right click on this one, and then we're going to go to create, and then we want to create material. This one we're going to rename it blue. And then click on the albedo color box and change it to blue. So I'm pretty sure. Let's try to find this without actually watching the video. Here we go, albedo color block. We're going to change it to blue. Like that. Boom. So now this is blue, and then you want to drag the material into the player object. Boom. We got a blue ball. Blue balls. Sorry. This is live. I should be more serious. Okay, so Mark's step is complete. The position camera based on prototype. Okay, for a top-down game position, we want to put the camera, so we're going to get the main camera, and we're going to change, we're going to rotate this. Okay, for a side view game, rotate the plane. Okay, for a top-down game position, the camera at 0, 10, 0. So 0, and then 0. So that's what we do for a top-down game. And then, okay, so, did I do that right? Oh, and then rotate it 90 degrees. Which I think it's on the, nope. Not on the y-axis. It's on the x-axis. It's on the x-axis. So we rotate it 90 degrees. So that is if you want a top-down. If you want a side, then you rotate the plane by 90 degrees on the x-axis. And for a third-person game view, move the camera up on the y and z-axis and increase its rotation on the x-axis. But which one does he want us to leave it in? Let's watch the video.
Now we have our player and our ground set up in our scene, but we have this weird view on our camera, so actually I'm going to reposition it to get the best view for the project that I'm building. Now there are 100 different ways that we can position our camera to do so. So for example, maybe I want an isometric view of my game, so I want a nice flat view. I'll rotate my camera down a little bit so that you can see that plane pop up. And so you could play around with this setting, and if you how this game's going to work. So with this top-down perspective, all of my different animals and obstacles will start spawning from the top of my screen. If I really wanted to, I can make like our background scroll to create a running effect if I want. And then I can kind of help use my little sketch that I made for my project.
Okay, so I think we're going to be making his project.
I'm actually going to center this back on the Z so that way it's right above my little player. Now that it's over the player, I actually want to rotate this. So I want this facing down. So actually, I'll rotate this on the x-axis. That way it rotates straight down.
Okay, so he's just doing the top.
Probably something like 90 degrees. Cool. And in fact, I could probably fiddle around with this a little bit if I want to get a better perspective. Bring this even higher. There you go. That way the edge of the scene is just off to the side there. Now, one of the things to note is that if you're going to create a game using gravity, side view and top-down view could look the same. But when you add physics and you add gravity, the side view is going to interact much differently than the top-down view. So what you're going to do is you're going to select your main camera, choose a position that you want to...
Okay, so that does bring up a good point. What kind of game you're going to be doing. Okay, so we're going to be doing his game. Is what it looks like in this thing. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to keep it at a top down camera view. So a lot of the reason why he was kind of like explaining that you want to have it like this is because if gravity works on the y-axis, I believe. So if I have a flat plane like this and my camera up here, it's going to look flat. It's going to look the same as if I had it like this, but the gravity thing is going to make a big, big difference. So while if it's like this, we're going to have the gravity go obviously down and it's going to hit the plane. It's going to stay on there. While if we go like this, then it's just going to fall through. So for my game where I want to click the button and have it go up, I'm going to want it at a side angle for the 2D game, not a top-down view. So I don't even know what I actually wrote for that, but yeah, so I'm going to have to change that. And then we'll just bring this to like 15 or something like that. Okay, so we changed that one. Mark step is complete. Pretty much mine's looking just like his on the screen. Okay, now in the hierarchy, create new cubes, spheres, and capsules for all the other main objects, renaming them and repositioning them and scaling them. In your materials folder, create new materials for as many colors you have unique objects, adding their colors to match their name. Then apply those materials to the objects. Position all the objects in the location relative to each other. That makes sense. Okay, so we'll kind of skip through this a little bit. See what he has at the end.
Bring this all the way to green, and we'll make it like, yeah, like that. Rename the material, make it green, and then we'll just drag and drop green onto power up. There you go. Now we have all of our enemies, and we have our power up.
Okay, so it looks like he's got 4 enemies and 1 power up. And let's change this plane, rename it to ground. I'm going to have to go into here. Okay, so that's ground, that's player. Okay, good. So now what he did was he created new objects. So you go create 3D objects. So he's got 3 cubes and 1 sphere. So create cube, enemy 1. And then he's got, yeah, so we're going to create cube, call it enemy 2. Create another cube, enemy 3. And then he has a sphere. The last one, oops, enemy 4. And then the object he has was a capsule. And this is going to be the power up. The power up. So he has it, and then he has colors. So he's got red, dark red, light red, and medium red. So create new material. So 1, 2, oh, actually, I wonder if I could do this one. Make it like a red. So this one is red. Rename red. Did that work? Yeah, it's red. Rename this one as red dark. red, dark. Boom, just put it right there. In the middle. Create new material. Call this red light. Oops. Okay. Red light. Change this one to a lighter red. One more, no, two more. He's going to create this one. Change this one, call it red medium. That's what he called it. And I guess we'll just put this one like right here. Okay, so we go red on enemy 1. Let's move it. Over here, move this one over here. Okay, red dark is going to be enemy 2. Red light will be enemy 3. And then red medium will be enemy 4. Okay, that one is not dark enough. Red medium, right like that. Okay, and then we just need one more. Create material. I'm going to call this one green. We're going to make it green. This one's going to go up on the power up. Oops. There we go. And so we'll move the power up over here. Okay, so we'll just put, is it on 0? No, we don't want 0. 5? Don't want 5. 1? 1 is good. 1 on all of them is good. Let's do 5. This one, 1 and 10. This one's 1, and we'll put this one as 10. This one we'll put as 5 and 1. This one will be 1 and minus 5. And then this one will be 1 and minus 10. Okay. Oh, that's a little bit too far. Let's make this minus 5. And we'll do this one as minus 2.5. Let's do minus 2. This one will be 2. So this way we have our items here. This is what he wants for his game. We're just going to be creating his game right now. Learn the components, and then we'll do the other stuff. Mark as complete. Export a Unity package backup file. Save your scene. File. Save. Okay, in the project window, right-click on the assets folder and export package. Then export on the assets folder. And then we want to go export package. Okay, create a new backups folder in your personal project folder. Then save it with your name and the version number. Example. Okay. So we want to go export. So these are my Unity stuff. Let's create a Unity Lab 2 new folder. Lab 2. We'll put it in here. And then the file name will be backup version 0.1 dot Unity package. That's what they got. Save. Boom. Okay, so that's actually pretty good to learn right there, that you could export it like that. So for you to get it again, you just go to like right clicks and then you go to export package and do all that kind of stuff. Good to have a saved backup copy just in case if you're doing all this coding and then all of a sudden something happens. What's this? Okay, so I don't think it did it, but whatever. That's okay for now. But yeah, so you want to be able to export it. Did it go? Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah. Can you get rid of those? Okay. So we'll just do the say netmark step is complete and lesson recap. And that is done for now. Yeah, so it's good to kind of like do that every so often so that if you you don't make like a huge mistake in the coding and then all of a sudden now you can't fix it, so at least you have somewhere to go back to. Okay, so now we're going to be doing a quiz. Okay, let's do the quiz. That's it. I'll bring it here for you guys to see. And let's see if I can do this. Oh, I just need to get one answer right. Okay, if it says hello there in the console, what was the code used to create that message? Debug hello there. Debug log hello there. Debug console hello there. Ooh, I feel like they tricked me. I want to say, I think it's debug log. Because like I wanted to say console, but because I have like two logs, I'm just like, I think it might be log. Because, but they might be tricking you. But then they also might be tricking you here because they're calling it a console. But if I remember, I'm pretty sure it was a debug log saying hello there. If it says hello there in the console, yeah, let's just do log. Okay, if you want to destroy an object with its health reaches 0, what code would be best in the blank below? If health is less than less than 1. I think they're trying to trick you with the 0 there, because yeah, health equals 0. Okay, if you want to destroy an object when its health reaches 0, what code would be best to put in the blank? If health is less than 1. Yeah, I have to do less than 1. I feel like they're tricking you with all these zeros. Because you want it at 0 when it reaches 0, not when it's less than 0. Okay, the code below creates an error that says error. Argument cannot convert from Unity the engine project 2. Okay, what could you remove? What could you do to remove the errors? Instantiate enemy prefabs. Game block enemy prefabs. Okay, on line 1, change game object to game object. No, because they're prefabs, so it's not A. On line 1, change enemy prefabs to enemy prefabs 0. Possibly. Okay, C. On line 3, change start to update. Yes. On line 5, change enemy prefabs to enemy prefabs 0. I think it's C and D. That's so funny. The two ones that I thought it was. Okay, B and C together. Either A or D. You know what? I'm going to go to either A or D. Okay. What could you do to remove the errors? But no, you can't do A. Because what's the point of doing a game object enemy prefabs? They're prefabs. You need those brackets there for the prefabs. It doesn't work. Start to update. That's what I wanted to do, but I don't think it's that one. I'm more inclined on D. Both A and D together, no. Either A or D, no. Because I don't think it's A at all. Both B and C together. I would have probably done that, but I'm pretty sure it's not B. You don't put a 0 on here because you don't know how many they are, but you need this one to have a 0, comma, whatever. So let's leave it at D. Okay, which comment best describes the following code? Okay, so you got player comment, private void, on trigger enter, collider other destroy. Okay, if player collides with another object, destroy player. If enemy collides with another object, destroy the object. On trigger collider other, destroy other game object. So it's on a player. Okay, so the player collides with another object, and then you destroy the other game object when they collide. So if player collides with the trigger, destroy trigger. If player collides with another object, destroy the object. I'm going to say this one. If a player collides with another object, destroy player. No, you do not destroy the player. If an enemy collides with another object, no. This is a player controller, so it works only on the player. On trigger event, if a player collides with a trigger, destroy trigger. If player, I'm stuck between the last two. So on trigger event, you know what? I'm going to say destroy trigger. Because it's an on trigger event, so something has to trigger. If the player collides with another object, destroy the object. If player collides with a trigger, destroy trigger. Now I'm going to stick with my gut. Go question 4. We'll figure it out at the end. I only need one to pass. If you want to move the character up continuously as the player presses the up arrow, what code would be best in the 2 blanks below? So get key So get key up, key code dot up, key code, get key, key code up arrow, input, get key, input dot get key. I'm going to do this one. I think it's this one. Don't have to worry about down. Oh no, this one. Yes, it's this one. Because you go get key down, meaning I press the button. So I'm pressing up on the up arrow. And the button that I'm pressing is the up arrow. Oh, dang it. Dang it. I'm pretty sure I got that one right. I'm pretty sure that's it. Okay, read the documentation from Unity Script API in the code below. Which of the following are possible values for the random float and random integer variables? Okay, so you want float minimum, float max. Oh, I gotta actually read all this. Okay, so float static range, float minimum, and float max. You want to find the random float and the random minimum variables. Okay, so return a random float number between minimum inclusive and maximum inclusive. Read only. No, max is inclusive. Random.range 0 to 1 can return 1 as the value, and the random range distributor is uniform. Range is a random number generator. Public static integer range. Return a random integer number between minimum exclusive and maximum exclusive. Read only. No, max is exclusive. Random.range 0 to 10 can return a value between 1 and 9. Return minimum if max equals min. And the random range distributor is uniform. Range is a random number generator. So random float equals 100. Random integer equals 0. Okay, wait, what? This one's hard. Okay. Max is exclusive. Random range is 0 to 10. Can return a value between 0 and 9. So float 0 to 100. So random float equals 100. Random int equals 0. Okay, so I don't know if what's happening, if I can't read this because of my dyslexia and I just don't understand it, or if I'm just like not smart enough. I really do not understand what they are saying. Read the document from the Unity Script API and the code below. Which of the following are possible values for the random float and random variables? Possible values. I'm just going to go with 100 and 100. I'm guessing at this point. I honestly have no idea what this question is. So watch it be this question I get correct. It's going to be the one that makes me pass. 25% chance. Okay, you are trying to randomly spawn objects from an array. However, when your game is running, you see in the console that there was an error at asset script spawn manager. Index out of range exception. Index was outside the bounds of the array. Which line of code should you edit in order to resolve this problem and still retain the random object functionality? Okay, so you got random objects, game object, random objects, spawn, random objects, integers, object index, random range, that to that, instantiate random objects, object index. So 2, 3, 4, or 5. 2, 3, 4, or 5. Void. I think we need 2. Because we don't have instantiate. Random, wait. No. Okay, so it looks pretty good. Yeah, I want to say line 2. Because we need to have instantiate random brackets are wrong, I think. Okay, let's read this thing. So error, index out of range exception. Index was outside the bounds of the array. Oh, it was outside the bounds. Which line of code should you edit in order to resolve the problem of to retain? So it probably has 3 objects. Or 4, wait, it was outside. So error, assets, scripts, spawn manager, .cs5, index out of range exception. Index was outside the bounds of the array. Which line of code should you edit in order to resolve the problem? Number 4, if it's outside of the range, then that means there's he probably has like 3 objects, but it's going to be like 0, 1, and 2. So he should have done, or maybe no, he has 3 objects. Wait, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you change the range. I don't know what the problem is exactly, but if you change this 3 to a 2, because it's probably outside the range, or a 1, depending on what the range is, it should make it work. That's my thoughts process. Line 4, final answer. Man, I'm really nervous about how this test is going to go. And you guys are going to all watch it. So if you made changes to the prefab in this scene, let's see if I could see how many prefabs he has in this scene. No. Okay, if you made changes to a prefab in this scene and you want to apply these changes to all prefabs, what should you click? Oh, the override. Boom. 1 out of 10. I'm pretty sure this is right. And so we passed. Because you only need 1 to pass. Read the document of the Unity script API below. Which of the following is a correct use of the invoke repeat method? So invoke repeating, string, method name, float time, repeat rate. Okay. Sorry. So it's definitely not this one, because you want to spawn before method name. Definitely not this, because it's not game object. You need a time. So it's between these or these 2. but I'm pretty sure it's this one right here. You don't have the quotations for the whole thing. You have it just for the method name. Boom. Yeah, you're trying to create some logic that will tell the user to speed up if they are going too slow or to slow down if they're going too fast. How should you arrange the lines of code below to accomplish that? Okay, let's see. So, do I need to read this or should I just pick what I think would work the best? Let's just pick whatever I think would work the best. Okay, if speed is less than 10, debug log speed up. Else if speed greater than 60, debug.log slow down. Yeah, so it is the debug log. I see it right here. Let's double check. Make sure I did log before instead of boom, log. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Okay, so the first one is not correct. The if statement needs to be above. Is it above that one? No, no, it is. No, because it closes here. It is wrong. This one is wrong. It needs to be facing the other way. And the else if, I think, needs to be at the bottom of it. Okay, so number one's wrong. If speed is less than 10, debug log speed up. Else if. Boom. That looks good. Private float. But then now I'm looking at this one. He wants all the private stuff on the top. So it's I don't even, I just wasted my time with these two. Okay, so you got the private float speed. It says private float speed. Okay, oh yeah. Private string slow down. Private string speed up. Okay, equals like that. Void update. Bracket if speed is brackets facing the right way. Slow down. This one looks pretty good. And this one, the bottom one, speed less than, speed up. This is a tough one. Let me see this again. Okay, you are trying to create some logic that will tell the user to speed up if they're going too slow and slow down if they're going too fast. How should you arrange the lines of code below to accomplish that? So, private string, private float, private string. So we'll do, yeah. What are these ones that are different? The difference is 5. Five and 1 are reversed. What are 5 and 1? Debug speed up. Debug slow down. Oh, okay, okay. This is the right answer. Because this one is if speed is less than 10, say it to slow down. And that's a no. You want to say to speed up. So it's going to be this one because this one says speed up. And that one says slow down. Boom. You guys ready? Let's see what I got. I'm nervous. I got 8 out of 10, I think. I hope. At least 8. Maybe 7. Sweet. Programming level 2. Continue. Okay, so I got 7. Anything less than 1 would be 0. Oh wait, no, that one's correct. Okay. Yeah, this one was correct. Yes, it was the one. I knew they tried to trick you up. Okay, this one. Your answer D was line 5 change enemy prefabs. Okay, so I got this one wrong. Okay, is the game object is the game array object array. You cannot initiate this array, but you can initiate an object inside an array. So you could either remove the array and have instantiate use an individual object, option A, or you could use a game object index of that array, option B. But both would not work. So it was A and B. D. Interesting. I was pretty confident that D was the right answer. Okay, because A was to get rid of the game object. Which works because that was a trick question. That was a trick question right there. Man. Okay, so this is that was brutal. Okay, so basically what the question was not to get it to work properly, just to get it to work in general. So if you got rid of these brackets, it would work in general because you don't have any prefabs. You're just calling it a prefab, which is weird. So A or D would that's so bad. That was a trick question. That was evil. That was evil. That's like those trick questions on those like math tests. Yeah, okay, good. So this is not a trigger. If player collides with another object, destroy the object. Yeah, because there's no other trigger stuff that's colliding with. It just says other game object. I was right on that one. Okay, this one I was wrong. Input get key tests for the user's holding down a key as opposed to key down, which gets for a single press down of the key. Wait, if you want to move the character up continuously. Oh, okay, I read that wrong. That was a dyslexia moment right there, you guys. That was it. I did not see this word. And the thing is, I'll probably look back at the video and I guarantee you I probably said it. But in my mind, it just was not there. Okay. Okay, and then what's the other one that I got wrong? This one. Yeah, this one I had no idea. Okay, as it says in the document, random range does not include the maximum value of integers, but does include the maximum value for floats. This means that random integer cannot be 100, but random float can be. Oh, okay. That was probably, yeah. Not gonna get that one. Okay, so this one, dyslexia moment. This one I still don't get it. And then this one was dirty on their part. Dirty on their part. I could claim my dyslexic moment as well, because they just wanted to get it to work, not do what. Because you're saying prefabs, which is what got me. Brutal. And then I got the rest of them right. This one, line 4. Yeah. The value is too high for the number of objects in the array. The best thing that would be to change it to a random range 0, random objects dot length. That's right. So if you get this code right here, random objects dot length, then you never have to remember what the number is, or if later down the line you decide to change it, it will automatically change. It just picks it for you. I did not know, but I didn't remember it then. This was I told you guys I was going to get this one right. That was my right question right there. Okay, and then this one info, yes, spawn. I got this one right as well. And then the last one, yes, you're trying to create logic. I was correct. All variables should be declared first, then the void method, then the if condition telling them to speed up, then the else condition telling them to slow down. That's right. Yeah, this is just you could fight having it switch. Actually, no, you couldn't fight the other way because then these things will be in the update, and it probably you wouldn't need the private. The private would probably screw it up. So these private and public stuff need to be outside of the void update. So you can't really fight that you have it in there unless you're just going to get rid of these privates, and then you could fight to have it. But that only works within the update. But yeah. Okay. Create with code 1. Nice. Start checkpoint. Okay, so we'll probably leave this for tomorrow. Oh, create with code 1. This is another test. Do I want to do the test now? What are they? How long? I have as long as I want. Oh, but I need 9 out of 11 answers. Oh man, this is brutal. Do I want to do it now? Let's do it now while I have it fresh in my mind. Oh man, I didn't want to do this now. Okay, we're doing this now. What will the result be of the code below? Okay, let's try to, without picking the answer, I'm going to read it. I'm going to try to see what I think it says. So we have a public, so we're in the enemy. Okay, we have a public transform ground. So if transform position dot y, so if the up and down is less than ground position dot y, then destroy an object. So it's kind of like if you are less than a certain thing before ground, then you're supposed to destroy the object. Okay, so if the player touches an enemy, destroy the player. Nope, because this is just an enemy thing and has something to ground. If an enemy goes above ground, destroy the enemy. Nope, it's less than ground. If the player goes beneath the ground, destroy the player. Nope. If an enemy goes below the ground, destroy the enemy. Boom. What would the appropriate line of code to replace the comment below? Okay, so assign the first element in the array the value of 5.0. What would the appropriate line of code to replace the comment below? Assign the first element in the array the value of 5. Okay, so I'm stuck between values and float. I'm going to think it's values. Assign the first element in the array the value of 5. Yeah, no, it can't be, oh, float is the thing. But they're called values. Values equals values 5. I'm going to go with values. Let's do that. So values is a float. Because if I did it in the other stuff, he doesn't use float. He goes game game object, and then it's enemy prefabs. So they'll use enemy prefabs for this one. Yes, it's this values. Okay, which comment best describes the code below? So we have to make a comment. So void on trigger collision other if other dot compare tag spike destroy other game object. Okay. Collider other on trigger event. So if the player, so not if the enemy, if the player collides with an enemy, destroy the enemy. If the player collides with a spike, destroy the spike. If a player collides with a spike, destroy the player. So if collider other, if other if other dot compare tag spike destroy other game object. Frick, I hate that this might be a quick trick question because like I know in video games like you want the player to collide with a spike and it destroys the player. But I think this is destroying the spike. And because we're trying to figure out what the code is saying and that we might need to fix it. Because you're saying destroy other game object. So you're destroying the spike. You're not destroying the player. I'm going to have to do this. I think it's one of those trick questions where you got to get out of your game thinking of what the game is and just straight up read it as a code. And I think that's what they're trying to do. Because, yeah, so if you on the spike, so collide with other, so on trigger collider, so if you collide with a spike, you destroy other game object. This is a player, not an enemy. So it's what the player is doing. Yeah, no, I have to say the spike. If a player collides with a spike, I'm saying that it's going to destroy the spike because I'm reading for the code, and that's what I think it says. So the image below, the preference windows that allow you to change which script editing tool or IDE you want to use. Where would you click to choose an alternative code editing tool? What? Visual Studios, box 1. Yeah, because that's what we're using for the code editing. Question 5. In Visual Studios, 5.0f would be underlined with a red squiggly line when you hover over the mouse. What do you think the message would say? The value 5 is out of bounds. Integer health equal 5.f. Cannot complete statement, remove semicolon. No. Cannot implicate cover type float to int. The value f could not be interpreted for type int. Man, I kind of want to like just put that code in to see what happens. Cannot implicitly convert type float to integer. Yeah, because f is float, so it wouldn't say the value f could not be interpreted for type integer. Because the f is for float. You just need the 5 there, I believe. Without the f. It's not out of bounds. Cannot complete statement. Remove semicolon. Absolutely not. I'm pretty sure it's going to be that one. The value f could not be interpreted for type int. Yeah, that's close. I'm going to go with this one. Okay, that's one question that I'm allowed to wrong. Whew. This is intense. Using the information shown in the autocomplete pop-up window below, which of the following would be a valid call of the instantiate method? Okay. Game object subject prefab. Okay. Object instantiate object original transform parent pool instant. So object prefab and then spawner. So instantiate object prefab dot transform spawner true. Man. Using the information shown in the autocomplete pop-up window below, which of the following would be a valid call of the instantiate method? Would be valid. Which one would work? Okay, so it's not going to be this one. It's going to be a true or false statement. Transform parent. I'm going to have to say this one. Because when we're looking at it, you have the object original, which is a prefab. All of them are prefab. All of them are spawner. Okay, so you have the original, and then you have the transform parent. And then bool is just true or false. Yeah, you wouldn't have prefab or object prefab.transform. Would you? Holy shoot. I'm feeling like the object prefab.transform, like in my gut, I feel like that's the one. Clones the object original and returns the clone. You know what? I'm going to stick with my gut and I go with the first one. Oh man, I'm going to kick my butt if like that one's wrong. And if they're both wrong, it's fine. But if this one turns out to be like the right answer, I'm going to be like really like. Ugh. Okay, what would be the code required to produce the debug message shown below? Hello world. So it's debug.log and hello world. It's the first one right there. Yeah. The start function runs at the start of every update function. Oh shoot. Does it? Player input should be handled in the update. I'm just going to put the player input because that's where it should be. Man, start the function runs at the start of every update function. No, I thought it's just the start function runs before the update function. But is it runs before every update function? Okay, I'm going to give me my number 2. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. In what order do the parts of this script appear? Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Are these variables, functions, or declaration? I believe these are variables. Function or namespace. I think it's function. namespace, class declaration. In what order do the parts of this script appear? Functions. This is not a function. These are not functions, I don't believe. Class, namespace, variables. I think it's this one. Class declaration. It's a player controller. Namespaces. Frick. Okay, I don't think it's class declaration. I don't think it's just for the last piece. Is this functions or is this variables? Variables, class declaration, namespace. Let's do the first one. That one is what I feel in my gut. Oh man, I'm getting so nervous. Which of the following lines of code is using standard Unity naming conventions? Public float speed equals 40F. So they're all public. I'm going to do float speed. The answer is right there. Ha 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 ha. That was an easy one. Line 4. Well, at least I got one answer right, but I need 9 out of 11. Oh my goodness. 9 out of 11. I'm only allowed 2 wrong. Given the inspector shown below showing variables for speed and player name. These are variables. These are functions. Class declaration, namespace, boom. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got that one right. Okay, given the inspector shown below, showing variables for speed and player name, which of the following lines of code would you expect to see in player controller.cs? Okay, so float speed string player name. Nope. It's got to be public public. Nope. Public public. String player name, text player name. You got a space here, so that's a double whammy. This one right here. Public float speed. The speed is also capitalized there, so it's not this one. And it has to have a public if it's going to be those ones. No new, no nothing. It won't show up here. Okay, let's hope I pass. I earned continue. Did I pass? Yes! Yes! Yes. There you go, gaming industry. I am officially learning this stuff. Okay, which one did I get wrong? So this one I got right. Watch it be that one that I said that it's going to be the other one that I switched. Boom. You can see the top tool state meshes 3. It was. It was. Ah, I could have had 100%. I could have had 100%. I should have kept it. Oh man. Ah. I knew it. I knew it was that one. But I'm really glad for this one. That one was easy. What was this one? Yeah, that one. That one's what I thought. Because every time is what is the language right there. Yeah, that's the one thing. You got to really, really be careful with the words. Because I think this is the one. Where was it? The enemy below ground. Okay, no. I got that one. See the spike thing? Remember when I was saying the spike thing? Where it was, I was thinking that in game it's supposed to be that the player gets destroyed when it lands on the spike. But I'm like, no, I think that's a trick question because they really want it. Turns out I was right. Booyah. Okay, I think we're going to call that quits. Call that quits for today. Leave it like that. My lots of coding, quizzes and stuff like that. I'm very happy with what I got. Hope you guys are happy. Thanks for cheering me on. Um, it's pretty exciting to be like having a quiz and just trying to read it and figuring it out yourself and learning or finding out that a lot of the stuff that you know is that you know it. And so it's kind of it's very very encouraging for me to see that and to be like, okay, I know this stuff. Like I actually know this stuff. It's not uh it's not something that I'm not going to be able to learn. I'm going to be able to learn this, which is exciting. Um, yeah, no, all I have to say is gaming industry, here X1T comes because I can do this. I'm learning. It might take me a little while to get there, but once we start going and then we start getting a team going on, our whole mission is just to make fantastic games for you guys. And finding that quiz that I only got one wrong for me was just like a really big achievement and really tells me that yeah this can happen, that it will happen. And it's just the journey now is to figure out how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take until it happens? And yeah, no, working together with you guys, it will just go by faster. If I'm doing this all by myself, I'll get there eventually. But the whole premise is that we're doing this together. It's kind of like a underdog story of fighting the going after the big companies and us little guys actually winning. But yeah, so I'm going to with that. I'm going to say goodbye. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll continue on with more coding stuff. And yeah, remember to share, like, and subscribe because together we're going to revolutionize the game.